I've been talking about the dangers of Islam for a better part of a decade. I used to debate Islamists who would boastfully defend Islamic practices like child marriage, wife beating, throwing homosexuals off rooftops, killing apostates, or even dissidents of Islam. And I used to think, why are more Westerners not being alarmed by this? Well, they were absorbing this. And I always knew this, that sooner or later, more and more people will wake up to the reality of Islam. Because up until this point, Muslims have just been propagating their views openly and boastfully, thinking that Islam has the solution. That's why Muslims have been telling you that Islam will enter every house, because they genuinely believe in that. And much to the frustration of people like me and some other critics of Islam, most of them were Christians and some of them were ex-Muslims, I knew at some point our hard work will bear fruit. And I think that time has arrived. I think more and more people are now talking about Islam than ever before, and not in a good light. Yes, you have the usual lefty clowns who are shielding and covering for the Islamists, but they're not the only game in town. Check out this tweet by Representative Andy Ogles. Muslims do not belong in American society. Pluralism is a lie. These people didn't say that about other non-hostile cultures, but Muslims are making more and more people anti-multiculturalist for good reasons. You either get called racist or bigot, or you go extinct. Islam has entered its second phase of dominating the West. Up until now, they have only been talking about what they want to do to America.
And American Muslims have to step in
like this
and change that relationship. But we cannot do it only by being in the streets. We have to be in the halls of Congress. We have to be in the newsrooms. We have to be in the classrooms. We have to be in the books. And we have to be in the courts and in the courts of public opinion. To do that, we have to be organized and we have to be good planners.
They have to be good planners. And good planners they are. This is what they've been saying openly.
We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion was sent to dominate the world. It was sent to be superior, to extinguish the light of every other religion and to be superior to it. We're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say. That this religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to eclipse it, to be superior to it, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest.
So Muslims have been saying these things for almost 2 decades. And their first project kind of succeeded in the UK and mostly in Europe. France, at the moment, they actually have a military plan in case Islamic separatist insurgency springs up in France. And I'm sure other Western countries will soon have to be planning for that as well. And its ugliest and the most violent side of it will be witnessed in America. But look at this tweet again. 27 million views. 27 million views on Twitter means hundreds of millions of people have heard this message. Not directly on Twitter, but through other mediums as well. Because on Twitter, you get official statements of influential people. The West and the non-Muslim world is seeing the complete disintegration of their native culture. They're seeing what is happening on the streets. They're seeing how their towns and cities are turning into Islamic ghettos. And you got to look at it from an Islamic perspective. Just think about it for a moment. The West has been dominating the world for a better part of 150 years. And if you extend the previous another 100 years, when the West started dominating the world, Islam used to be a dominant force in the world. It used to have an equal seat at the table. But starting in the late 17th and the 18th centuries, Islam started getting subdued. It lost its power and influence. Just imagine for the previous 1200 years, Islam dominated not only its immediate vicinity, but also the West. Eastern European kingdoms were satellite states for the Ottomans. Islam went as far as Spain, and then they were pushed back. But they still dominated the Middle East and North Africa until the West had its Renaissance, Reformation, the scientific revolution, and then obviously the industrial revolution. And then the West not only just started pushing back against Islam, but also started dominating the Muslim world. France and Britain and other European powers started colonizing Islamic lands. Islam was humiliated. And the final nail in Islam's coffin was put in 1918 when the Ottoman Empire was defeated and it disintegrated. Now just think about it. In 1918, that's when the world truly entered the era of nation states. Muslims believe that this idea was introduced to fragment the caliphate, to divide Muslims. Instead of having a one big, strong Islamic caliphate, they now have these small nation states who can't unite against the West. Whether that's true or not, doesn't matter. What matters is that Islam was humiliated. Islam has had no major say in worldly affairs, at least since 1918. The New World Order was carefully designed by the West, and Islam, for the first time since its inception, had absolutely zero say in how we should run our world. China refers to the 19th century until the rise of the CCP. China refers the period of 1850 till 1950 as the century of humiliation. Well, this last century was a century of humiliation for the Muslims, for the Islamic world. They had zero say in it, but something happened. The West became too civilized. It kept liberalizing itself, and then it opened up to the idea of multiculturalism or pluralism, and it opened the door for Islam. Islam that could not conquer the West through its militaries started establishing a foothold in the heart of Western civilization through immigration. Muslims could not believe their luck. Check this out.
700 years of our trial to conquer Europe by force failed. They did something wrong, very wrong. They tried for many years to conquer Europe through wars, only wars.
This is the soft Islamic conquest of the West. Basically, what the Islamic and again, I'm an Orthodox Muslim. What we couldn't do in the last, say, 20 years, now the West is doing it for us for free and even paying for it.
Allah permitted them to live off the infidel while they are subduing them. So it had sort of a parasitic type of attitude where they can live off of the host country, where their goal is to eventually eradicate the host culture and supplant it with Islam.
They're literally telling you what their plans are. Literally. No shame.
Going to be types of compromise. Can you not understand this is a long-term goal here? Now, this is in UK, and the UK is a very different game, as we said, because 6% of the country is Muslim overall, and
very different game. The UK is very different from America. Why? Because they have more numbers over there.
The key cities of Manchester and Birmingham and Leicester and Bradford and London are double-digit Muslim, double-digit Muslims. Canada is another example. Canada, any Canadians in the audience? Mississauga? Calgary? Mississauga? Mississauga is a staggering 15% Muslim. Staggering 15% Muslim.
How does that not alarm the stupid lefties? How? What do you think they're going to do? They are focused on increasing their numbers. They know what they're doing. They're telling you what their end goal is. This is beyond suicidal empathy.
There's an entire, area of 400 shops.
This is not suicidal empathy. This must be suicidal fetish.
You see in Arab shops. 400, what's it called again, that area there? Huh? The Ridgeway, yeah, Ridgeway Mall. Like unbelievable. You go there like in Karachi or Hyderabad or something like that. I was completely blown away. Hamburg and Berlin, more than 10% Muslim. When I was driving down Hamburg, my host said to me, in this one street that we're driving, there are over 50 musallas. 50 in this few miles. One street, one main street. 50 areas to pray. I said, no, you got to be 15. No, 50, he said. Frankfurt, which is the hub of international trade, you will be completely blown away. It is estimated 15% of Frankfurt is Muslim. Unbelievable. Again, statistics are, and you see this.
It didn't happen. They didn't conquer it with their armies that they've been trying. They've been having wet dreams over. They did it because the West became too liberal. The West believed in pluralism, and they thought that doesn't matter. People from all over the world can come and benefit from Western pluralism, and everything will be fine. This is high time to wake up, guys. This is no time to be complacent. I can play you hundreds of these videos where they have literally told you what their plans are. And now we are seeing these plans materialize. I'm tempted to say slow motion, but no, it's not even slow motion. Their plans are materializing at an incredibly fast pace. First, they planted Sadiq Khan and then Mamdani, those lipstick-wearing Muslims. You could be forgiven for thinking, no, maybe they're nominal Muslims and they just quote Buddhas and Gandhi and Muhammad, and they're truly socialist and communist. That was the first phase, just to soften you. And now they're introducing hardcore Islamists who are talking about bringing back violence in their politics, who are quoting the Quran in Arabic as sources of wisdom. And then we have idiots like this. Just look at her reasoning.
Somebody please explain to me why having Muslim people in Dearborn, Michigan is a bad thing. They're not doing anything wrong. And if they are, somebody prove me wrong. I guess I'm just so confused why there's so much hatred and racism and just I don't know. The Muslims are taking over Dearborn or Detroit, whatever. I don't get it.
When a civilization reaches this level of retardation, then maybe it deserves to be conquered. But the good thing is, in my opinion, their number is deflating. Ordinary lefties, ordinary liberals who were truly well-intentioned. I mean, this woman didn't say anything wrong as per traditional Western values. We shouldn't be racist. We should embrace everyone. But she needs to be educated. She needs to be shown what happens when Islam takes over. You're not individually going after an individual Muslim. An individual Muslim could be a good person or a bad person, but together, collectively, wherever there are Muslims in a sizable number, it's game over. It's game over. Look at Lebanon. Look at what happened to Lebanon. Look at what happened to Iran. Look at what's happening in parts of London. And just to answer her question, what's wrong with Muslims taking over? And she's a woman, this might answer it.
The husband has physical needs, and she is not willing to make herself available for the husband. Does she have an excuse, a medical excuse, a valid excuse? No. She just doesn't want to. So if she has no medical excuse, no psychological excuse, no whatsoever excuse, she has no right not to make herself available within appropriate
sex,
limits and means. If you want to solve this situation, start with step number 1. You have the best attitude, use nice words, and try to make her happy. See what's bothering her. Let's say you tried step number 1. You really did. You went out of your way to try to please her and fix the situation. She's still stubborn. She
doesn't want to have sex with you.
Ignoring you. She doesn't care. She's being negligent. She's not making herself available. What's step number 2? وَهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. The next step is now you start applying pressure on her. Let her know that her attitude is not welcome.
She has to spread her legs, basically.
If that doesn't work, then the Quran says, وَضْرِبُوهُنْ.
Beat her.
If that doesn't work, as a last resort, hit them.
Hit them. So this woman is saying, oh, what's so wrong if Muslims take over? This is what's wrong. I mean, feminists, black people, gays for Gaza. You people should be the first people to stand up against Islam. That's why you should be concerned about Islam taking over your country. But I don't know. I do believe that more and more people will wake up because I have noticed that more people are now talking about Islam than ever before. When I started talking about it, most Westerners would look the other way because, you know, it was impolite. We don't want to get involved in a brown man's religion. I don't want to be racist. I don't want to look like a racist or an Islamophobe. I might lose my job, but that time is up. We are now seeing more and more people talk about those talking points. We are now seeing more and more people bring up the talking points that we introduced nearly 10 years ago, and some other people introduced even before that, like this. Ask these questions to Muslims. Make them feel uncomfortable. If they believe in something, then make them say it.
Agree upon something. If the two individuals agree on marrying each other, then it's not evil, no matter how old they are, because that's what my book.
So in that case, it is okay to have sex with children.
Yes. No, you see, then again.
You just said 100%. See, okay. Here's the problem. What's your name? What's your name?
Haider.
Haider? Okay. Haider.
Yes.
I want you. You're having an inner struggle right now, and I can see it because you know it's wrong to have sex with kids in all circumstances. You know it's wrong.
There are so many Muslims that abuse whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded them to do so. They abuse that because they say, oh, it's in the Quran. But then again,
dude,
that's why
you know it's wrong to have sex with kids in all circumstances. I can see you struggling.
Outside of marriage, wrong.
In any case, inside of marriage, outside of marriage, doesn't matter. I know that you, in your heart of hearts, in that chest of yours, know that it's wrong to have sex with children in all cases.
This guy's good nature coming out. No, he doesn't think that. Look at him. He's not ashamed at all.
And that's why you should go to the store and you should buy one of these.
There was another version of this where he actually says, no, Muhammad married a 9-year-old girl. It's perfectly fine. It was either this Muslim guy or some other Muslim guy. Make them feel uncomfortable. Pose these questions to them. Because, hey, the world deserves the truth. If you believe in something, own it. And say it. That's why I think Abdul al-Sayyid can be destroyed in a debate very easily. Bring out the dirty laundry of Islam. He would have no place to hide. He will be forced to defend it.